As a single parent, I am it. If something happens to me, then Luca's on his own.
Hi guys, guess what I am?
Mari-Anne lives in London with her son Luca, who's 6. Like many other single mothers, the pandemic has hit her hard.
I'm going to tell you that I'm in my tent.
I'm asthmatic, and Luca as well. Whenever he gets a cold, it's not just a regular cold for him. He had to take quite a bit of time out of school because it goes straight to his chest. So hearing about this COVID and knowing that it was respiratory for me was like, oh man, when the first lockdown happened, I guess, and when we went into the homeschooling environment, it was a really positive experience for us.
Pen, torch, spoon, jam.
I got to see his progress. I got to understand what he can do and then to help him through it. So it was nice. It was a really great bonding for us. I made the decision to keep him home even when schools opened up again because it was presented as optional. And honestly, with the measures that were being put in place, like it was one of those, we have temperature guns. We have access to 2 temperature guns, but it was not, we will be using them. And if this happens, then that, the well-being of my child was to not be in that situation where now he's either spending all of that time with his mom on a ventilator in hospital or, actually, I didn't even have a plan B. 6 months after that first thing where there was the decision and that recognition of the danger and the threat of the pandemic is when the school then got in touch and said, right, irrespective of your vulnerabilities or personal circumstances, you now need to return to school or you risk losing your place. To have that threat as part of that, to say we will withdraw the school place, the first choice place, was really, I felt betrayed and also just like, I don't know, I was floored. Nothing had materially shifted since the initial, it was just now, no, we want to put everybody in and we've made this blanket decision for everyone based on legislation that was drafted pre-pandemic. It's very different to do homeschooling with support from the school and to have those weekly resources that are sent through, knowing that once things are safe, your child can resume that and have that environment, than it is to say, off you go and make that full commitment, with all that's involved. So I put him back into school. He did a week, the second week, horribly ill. And it just broke my heart because I was like, I've put him in that situation, I kept him on Monday and Tuesday at home. And Wednesday, he went back because I thought it's the last 2 days of school. And Chris, they had all these Christmas things. So he went in on Wednesday and on Thursday and wrapped up for school and everything else.
She decided to walk the 40 minutes to school to avoid public transport and then bring her son home in a taxi.
And so I was walking home and I felt really dizzy, as in dropped to my knees on the pavement, dizzy. And I never get that type thing. So I'm like, this is random. And that's when I thought, when I walked back to go and get him later on, I noticed there was a test center. And I thought, I'll just check. I just couldn't. My body was wiped. And I knew then something was not right. And to have it on your phone staring at you saying you've tested positive is horrible. I'd limited it so much. We didn't go out anyway. No one was coming in. So it would only have been either the Uber or from school. And then we get the message from the school saying, oh, by the way, someone in Luca's class has tested positive for coronavirus. And an ambulance came and got us. And, I had to take Luca with me. And it's not something you want your son to have to go through, but I have to take him everywhere with me because it's just us. So him seeing that and me, losing consciousness and all of that stuff I was living then my worst nightmare, because now I just thought, what will happen to my child, if something happens. Thankfully, we were able to come back home from the hospital once they'd done the tests and things, but my blood pressure was really low. My oxygen saturation levels were really low.
She's already decided Luca won't be going back to school when they reopen.
I'm not prepared to gamble again like I did. I can't put my child through that. And it was no picnic. I'm still recovering now from it. I'm not about to take that risk.